Okay, we're working on an SL and the shift tower problem where it won't come out of park. It's an okay, decent fix, guys. It's not the easiest thing. It's not like doing a Chrysler or Chevrolet with plastic shift tower. This Mercedes one's a little bit difficult. It's made of metal. It's got an actual cover with a sheath that goes over the top of the tower. It also has a security pop out that prevents you from getting this Allen bolt out, which is right here. And there's two more behind it. That thing itself is kind of a real big pain in the butt. It can be pushed in with a flat screwdriver. Best way to do it is take this thing out when you've got it out of park. So when it's in neutral or drive or reverse, anything but park, it makes it a real pain in the butt to get that out when that button is in the outward position. Anyways, we've gotten that out. This is another pain. This is the clip that goes onto here, the linkage that actually affixes itself to the bottom of the shift tower throw rod. To get that out, you got to move it up, kind of move it at a 45-degree angle, get a flat screwdriver in there, and you usually have to butcher it. So sometimes, I suppose, if you're careful with it, you could save it. But in this case, we just bent it up, threw it out. I'll show you a quick thing that you don't need one of those clips. You don't have to get one. And reuse it. I've got a better idea that I've used for internals that I've taken out of that shift tower, so you do not have to put a new one in here. Folks, I recommend not replacing this shift tower with a brand spanking new one with the solenoid in there that pushes up and down when you apply the brake to unlock it from park, because it will just happen again. Especially these cars that aren't daily drivers. They don't get driven all the time, which means they get moisture in there, and that's probably what happened to this one, is it just stopped actuating because, lack of usage. So, if you want to spend the bucks and put a new shift tower in, okay, that's fine, but go ahead and take the locking mechanism out, because it will get you here. If it doesn't get you this year, a 3 years from now, it'll be acting up again. So let's go ahead and go in the shop and take a look at the shift tower and take a look at the guts. I want to show you the things that you can take out of it to make it so it doesn't lock itself in park anymore. Okay, so now we've got it here on the workbench. Here is the actual shift tower, all in its beauty. It is complete metal. There are some plastic internals. A few important things. This thing is somewhat complicated inside. So what we've done, I've already taken this boot off. I'll show you that in a second. So we've got 3 torque heads. One here, and one down here. Take those off. Now, the cover will come off. Something very important you should do while you have this off. Go ahead and take a look right here. This is what I was talking about. This Allen head, is held down by this button. When it is in park, this is pushed out, just like so. That makes it impossible to get out. So when you take this cover off, guys, take that stupid thing, pull it out, get rid of it. Don't put it back in. Okay, first step. We just got that problem taken care of. Now, this is where it starts getting a little bit complicated. And I've noticed that nobody really talks about the internals of these things in any video. They just tell you how to get this damn thing out. Now, let's take a look here. This was sitting here directly on the back. Now, this part right here, guys, this is an electromagnetic actuator. Kind of works like a solenoid. It goes up and down, up and down. That's all it does. Sometimes wires get loose. Sometimes this gets corroded. Whatever it may be, it causes this thing not to move. And then when that happens, you're not coming out of park. I don't care how hard you pull on this thing, you will not get it to budge. They are tough. So, this little cover is a continuance of this cover right here. So what we've done, this used to sit right here. This plastic piece used to sit right down along the collar on the inside here. Of course, I'm not going to put it back in there, but it sits down, and this is level with this right here. there's a rivet. Go ahead and drill that rivet out. This one right here. You want to get that rivet out. Once you get this out, you'll go ahead and take a grinder, just like I did, with a blue blade, cutting wheel, whatever it is, and cut this right along here. Cut this off. Completely take that off. Pull it out. Get rid of it. It's junk. You don't need it. There's also another rivet right there. I drilled that one out anyway because I figured I was going to have to take this corner out, but I didn't. So we've got this out. Now, this is where it gets a little more in depth. It's going to be hard to see inside of here, but you'll see it once you get it under your eyes for the first time. Now this lever right here is the one that goes down inside of there, and this flap is what sits on top of this actuator, just like so. Up and down, up and down. It's spring loaded, so it goes just like this. And this part, guys, it sits behind this drum, back down in here. Of course, it took me a little while to get it out. I'm not going to put it back in there. In one piece, I got it out. Same thing with the other piece. I'll show you here in a minute. So this sits down in there. All that does is rock back and forth. It unlocks this metal cog right here, which I've got here in my left hand. This metal cog is what keeps it from coming out of park if your actuator does not work, which means your brake's not being pressed, or, you know, anti-theft is doing its job. Now, you see this rod right down here? Right there. This is where this sits. It goes on there, this angle exactly, just like so. And once it's on there, it sits in the back of the housing. I don't know if you can see down in there. But down right there is what moves back and forth. This prevents that from moving back and forth, so it locks you in park. Now, to take that off, there's a little slide clip, as well as with this one, which goes in right down here. I don't know if you can see it. That's where that one goes, and it hangs on the end of that rod. Go ahead and get a little flat screwdriver in there, like so, and pop that C-clip off. It looks just like this one, only a lot smaller. Now, this bigger C-clip, guys, that comes off of this one right here, which this metal one goes on this rod like we talked about earlier, and it goes up and down. Take this out. When you do it, save this C-clip. This C-clip is what holds that dude on. When you get that clip out, go ahead and slide this off that rod this way and get it in there. Get you a needle nose pliers. Get hold of it and pull it out. Once you've got it out, get rid of these parts. You won't need them anymore. They're junk. Bye-bye. Don't put them back in. Here's the extra parts pile right here, guys. If your shifter's going back in that SL with this stuff in it, you're doing something wrong. Throw those out. This is the only thing you want to save. Now I'll show you what you're going to do with this. Okay, more to the parts pile. That clip that everybody talks about, it's such a bear to get out. It is not fun getting that clip out. You've got to have one hand holding this thing, and then the other hand working a flat screwdriver or needle nose, something bending that other thing around. So when we put this back in, of course, we're going to put this cover on, and I'll show you. I forgot to tell you about this boot. Tell you about that in a second. This is what's really important. This will save you a lot of time and misery. Go ahead and use this C-clamp right here. Now remember, this just came out of the interior of this shift housing for that cog. We're not going to be using this. So, this fits. Of course, you can't do it with one hand. This fits on here just perfect. Just like it should. Just like it was made for it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to cannibalize this part. And we're going to put it back in the car. Make sure you put the boot. There's an actual interior boot that fits on the inside of that hole, which this shaft slides into. Make sure the boot's in there. And getting it out, you kind of got to go like this at a 45 when after you pull the clip out and wiggle it out, and it pops right out. Even though there's a guide in there, it looks kind of like a fork. We saw that earlier on here in the video. So this right here will slide on. If you ever have to pull this back out, let's say that you temporarily want to put this in there and fancy it up just like the way we did it, so it will never leave you on the side of the road stuck in park. But eventually you want to make it OEM because you want to sell it, or you just feel comfortable with having the anti-theft device in play like it should be. Then we can take it back out, and when we take it back out, you get a screwdriver down in there, folks. Of course, you can't do it with one hand holding the phone, but we go ahead and we pop this off just like it should. Presto, comes right out. We don't have to fight with it like we did for an hour, and be real careful that we don't bend anything up. We pop this clip off, it will come off in a second. So we'll go ahead before we put it back together. Now this boot has to be slid over this rod, and it will be at this angle, just like so, and it will slide over. Folks, make sure you use this boot, put it back in the way it's supposed to. And the reason is because this actually sits on top of the basically the tunnel where the transmission would be. Transmission tunnel, in that area just above the exhaust. There's a lot of heat that comes through there. And if there's heat coming through there, it's probably going to be exhaust fumes. So you want to go ahead and seal this off and make sure that we don't get any type of, exhaust fumes in the cab. Of course, heat as well. And it's outside to the elements too. You could possibly get moisture up in there. So let's go ahead and put that boot back on there like it should be. Then we go ahead and put our cover. Remember, get that little dowel out of there. Throw it away. Don't put it back together with that on there. It's not going to do you any good. This is also a guiding part that follows this part on the other side. And this actually kind of holds the boot back in. Anyway, hope this helps. I'm a big believer in pulling that stuff out, because if you don't, it will act up on you, and there's nothing you can do about it. You are dead in the water. Talk to you later.